In this video, I will be providing an example of what you'll be doing to write an auto liability insurance story. So, this story is about John and texting. What we find in the story of John and texting, here is the scenario. On a Friday night, John was driving home from a long day at work and was texting his friends to ask about their plans for the weekend. After he glanced down at his phone, he failed to see the driver in front of him braking. As a result, John rear-ended the car in front of him and his car crashed into a house. There's John's car. John was at fault. Here are the damages. $35,000 to the other person's car, $150,000 to this residential home, and the hospital visit that accumulated from John was $175,000. So, the policy John had was a 50, 200, 100. What that means is that John's insurance company will pay $50,000. The maximum they'll pay is $50,000 to one individual and $200,000 the maximum for the entire incident and $100,000 towards his medical bills. So, looking at this, the other car was $35,000. The insurance company would cover the entire thing because the first number is 50 and they will pay a maximum of $50,000 to one individual. On the other slide, we find that $150,000 was in damages by John's car to this house. Now, you will look at that and say, oh, he has a $200,000 policy and he's covered. Well, in reality, he would not be because the insurance company is only going to pay $50,000 maximum to one individual. So, for this other car, yes, they would cover the entire thing. For the second accident, the insurance company will only pay $50,000 to one individual. So they would cover this, but they would only cover $50,000 of damages for that. And then the last one, he had $175,000 in medical bills, but his insurance company only pays $100,000. So again, the first number identifies how much money be paid out by the insurance company to one individual. That is the maximum. The second number is the total amount I'd be willing to pay. So if it was $50,000 for the car damage and $35,000 for car damage, $150 for this, we would be up to $185,000 for this. But since they only pay $50,000 each, they're still within that. After you have created this, then you'll provide questions such as, what is the dollar value of the property damage John caused? How much per person and per accident will John's insurance pay for bodily injury? And then John does not have an umbrella policy. How much of the remaining hospital bills for the other car, for the driver of the other car, will he be held responsible for John? So your assignment is to create a story about an auto liability. Please refer to the requirements in the other document and feel free to use Google Slides or use the PowerPoint to create this story.